Hey guys, what's up? This is Eagz and welcome to a VOD review of a live game I did. So I'm just going back through this game I just did with David. He's been kind enough to let me upload like a review of the game. The live session is on Patreon, so make sure you check out the Patreon links down below. There's probably like 600 plus sessions now on Patreon. Live games, coaching sessions, high-low VODs, all that stuff. So check out the links down below. And if you want one-on-one coaching just like David has got for free wins, you can check out the website and book a sesh. Anyway, if you have any questions about that as well, you can always add me on Discord, so feel free. Let's get into this game. So we're going to start in this situation here, guys, where David has done Red Krugs Raptors. The enemy jungler has started topside. How do we know? Because Kale ran through this area to top. Whenever a top laner on blue team runs through the river here to the top lane, most likely they've just leeched right and gone like this. So Zach has started top in this game, and you might be saying, well, why not go like this? The honest answer, like, this is terrible of me to say, I was focused on David's clear more than I was actually figuring out like where Zach started, which is really bad, right? But I don't think David was clearing properly on Kha'Zix, so I was more focused on his like micro when he was clearing rather than focusing on Zach. But anyway, even in this game, man, what I'm going to teach you guys, the point of this video is to see or like teach you how each time you gank a lane, you have to be able to get a kill. I've coached so many people in the last couple of days where, like, their gank to kill ratio, so if you gank, like, let's just say you gank 5 times in the first 5 levels, sometimes, man, like, players who are coaching, like, they weren't getting any kills. Like, 0 kills from 5 ganks. That is awful. We are ganking lanes to get kills, right? So I'm just going to point out to you here how David is able to, hopefully with some of my help anyway, is to gank lanes and always get a kill. So in the early game here, the bot lane is fighting, right? So while David's doing Krugs, we can just see there's a bunch of activity bot. So my guess is that when there's a fight like this bot lane this early, probably use summoner spells, right? So I'm guessing here that, you know, Rengar has no summoner spells, Ivern as well, right? So it just makes that lane a lot more killable. Not gankable, killable. There is a big difference between being gankable and killable, right? And I've even coached people recently, guys, I only want you ganking lanes that are like half HP max. Way too many people are ganking lanes on full HP. If you're ganking a lane on full HP, it's because the wave or the lane is in a great position and the enemy champions have pretty much no dash or flash. I mean, I guess you can include like flash and a dash, right? But hopefully that makes sense, yeah? So pretty much what we're trying to do here, and I was telling David, like, you can think about going bot here after your walls, because if we look at the wave, it is unreal. And the next wave, because it's under tower, these two are going to meet at halfway, right? So around here. The wave is in an amazing position here for David just to go there straight away and gank. Because Ivern and Rengar will be here very soon, at the same time as Xayah and Alistar, because they all died at the same time, right? So all David has to do here is pretty much just run bot, maybe wait back here just in case Ivern runs out of base like this, right, and puts a ward down. But as soon as we see Rengar here in this position, jumping onto an Alistar, we can just go straight away. And you can see how this timing works out. So Rengar and Ivern, they might have been full HP, but the likelihood of getting a kill is so high because of the position of the lane, but also the fact they don't have summoner spells. So if Rengar has flash here, it's actually still maybe difficult to kill this guy, right? But the great thing is that Kha'Zix, David, has flash as well. So even if Rengar has flash there, there's a very good chance of getting a kill because of the position of the wave and timing the gank for the wave. That is so important to understand. You are timing the gank on the wave. Most people there would have just done walls into Gromp, right? And by the time David would have finished Gromp, if you see here, this wave, if Kha'Zix isn't ganking right, is going to be shoved in. Like, David is still hitting the Gromp, right? And all of a sudden, the wave's pushed in, and then he comes down, and now it's warded. So now we've just got to do blue. And then we do crab. Get what I mean? And maybe we're contested on this by, like, their prio bot lane and Zaku's moving bot. You never know, right? So this is so important, man, to time your ganks on waves. And also assessing, like, the probability of getting kills based on flashes and stuff. Now, David here after Crab, you can see how he was kind of clicking here just for, like, a millisecond. Probably thinking about killing Azir mid. I said go straight to blue, bro. There is no kill mid. Why is there no kill mid here? Lots of people, man, and I've heard this, like, David is, like, D2NA, right? I've heard this from people in every single elo up until, like, even GM. Lots of people think, or will say here, but Darius is pathing mid. So why would I not gank mid? My argument is, doesn't this guy have flash and WEQ? You know, like full HP. You see the difference between this in kind of like a neutral position compared to Rengar up here with no flash? I guess like Alistar CC is important as well, but we have Talia who's got CC. Hopefully you see the difference there. There's a massive difference. Just because Darius is moving mid means nothing. Even if Azir, guys, was like pushed up, I would never gank this lane. Also, just because he should know you're here. You have just killed his bot lane on vision. So the Azir, if he dies, is trolling. Like, you need to send him like a Christmas card or something, right? For being that kind of bad and unaware. So the 100% play here is just to do blue. into a Gromp, and what do we do after Gromp? We could think about ganking bot lane again because the wave is in a decent position right now, but we're not ganking right now. We'd be here in 15 seconds. In 15 seconds, the wave's going to be up here. Impossible to gank, right? And there might be wards and stuff. And also, if we think about it, you guys have to understand there's kind of like stages to a game, right? So pretty much like your first kind of life as a jungler is going to be until 4 minutes, yeah? When like you maybe recall for your Krugs or something, yeah? When they respawn. When you base around 4 minutes, everyone else, there's a very good chance they've based as well. So if we look here, Rengar with 2 longswords. Yeah, the Zac is even based and like spent 700 gold. In other games, people might even have like Dirks and stuff, right? Maybe even lost chapters mid if they're really fed somehow, or like blasting ones. Hopefully you get my point, right? So if we're making a play at 4 minutes when other champions have evolved as a jungle item Kha'Zix with no actual damage here, man, they better be on 1 HP. That is literally like the only reason you would ever go to a lane here, or your laners are like getting dove. Those are the only two like real situations where that might be justified. So after this Gromp, I just told David to recall, but David just wanted to, I don't know why, run down here and put a ward down because he was scared of his bot lane dying. I said, if you put a ward down here and this is warded for them, let's see if it is. Oh, damn, it isn't. But let's just say Ivan had this warded or Rengar did. They would see this ward, and obviously it's not Alistair or Xayah warding because they're not that elastic woman from The Incredibles, but also because like the only person who can ward this is Kha'Zix, right? So they would know you're here as well. And in other games, like if the enemy jungler just happened to be running top, oh my god, like the enemy jungler's here, sweet. And let's just say the enemy jungler's like right here, I can run into his Krugs and take these and then come back out, right? So, pretty bad. Don't do this, yeah? Anyway, David's going to recall. He's going to run out, get 2 longswords and boots, and then he's going to run topside. Important here when you're running topside, never to look at, like, your champion, yeah? You should be looking at top lane here. So you ask yourself, what is the likelihood here of me actually being able to kill this Kayle here? So, we're trying to, like, sum up, right? HP, champion strength based on items. So look at this. Kayle is in the, like, pretty much a level 1 Kayle still, right, in terms of items. This was what she bought at level 1 out of base. So this person has not evolved with the game, in a way. We have, so we're actually, like, kind of a lot stronger than her. The issue here, though, is that, well, Kayle is most likely to recall right after shoving this wave in. But if she does stay for a tower plate, we can definitely gank. So David here is always aware of this. During the game, he's always aware, like, running out of base, can I actually gank her? Like, if Kayle shows here, Darius will hit level 5, hopefully soon, off, like, a cannon and melee, and we can time the gank here, right? And we should win 2v2, because I have Darius, and I am 2 longswords Kha'Zix against a Zac and a Kayle with a Cole. Like, we should be good to go there, yeah? Also, Kha'Zix has flash, which is important as well. So David finds Krugs, and he actually said here something interesting, like, that looks gankable, when he was looking mid lane here. And I said no. Same reason as before, bro. Azir has WEQ and Flash. I know Kha'Zix has Flash, but what are the chances, man, of getting a kill here? Talia is not hitting 6 off this wave. It will be next wave. So it's impossible to really kill that lane, right? It just looks so difficult. So all we can do is just Krugs and Raptors, just sequence our camps together. Now, we're going to go to our bot side here and do walls. I also told David here, like, one option he has is just to go, like, straight down into Pixel here and check Dragon in case, like, Zac, Rengar, and Ivan are somehow doing it. Like, it just looks a bit fishy. But also, Kha'Zix can do Dragon quite easily here. So one option is to just go through like this into Dragon, or even all the way around, right? Because their bot lane is still without summoner spells, and you will probably time this when Alistair gets here, what, in about 15-20 seconds? In 15-20 seconds, you can be around here, right? Getting ready, waiting for Alistair to engage. David doing walls, though, is absolutely fine because there still really isn't much happening, and he can still make that same play bot lane when the Alistair is in lane. See how, like, kind of the timing matches up there. Anyway, there happens to be a 5 bot, so David, after doing this, he just runs bot. Make sure you go like this. We don't just want to be running straight down because we'd be behind them, so I told him that as well. We end up killing the Ivan. We kill Zac as well. And interesting thought here, David told me, he was like, right, what about if I just go to Dragon here? And I'm screaming, no, just go to Gromp. Gromp, 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 Gromp. No Dragon here. Why no Dragon? Rengar, Ivan are out of base. You just killed them, but the death timers are so short, guys. You have to understand, like, David killed. The Rengar's dead, right? They killed him like 10 seconds ago. The Ivan's now dead. But if we think about it, the more we fight, Rengar's running out of base. Ivan's running out of base. Zac, even though he's dead for 10 seconds, potentially might get here in time. And also, Azir has ultimate full HP. So if we run 10 seconds to Dragon, that gives Ivan and Rengar 10 seconds out of base, which is here. Yeah? So if we started it, there they are. Rengar's even here, you see. So it's very difficult just to run to Dragon. They're probably on wards as well, right? This might be warded and stuff, and we're running off a wave. So everyone's going to know we're doing Dragon here. So really, like, you would do Dragon there. If you, I don't know, let's just say you won the fight in this area. Of course, you can just hit Dragon straight away. Like, you're right on top of it. Even if they're dead for or like running out of base, they're not going to get here for like 25 seconds, and it will take you around 20 seconds to do it, right? So you're just trying to add up like the timings in a way. So just go to Gromp here, and then you can recall. And because we cleared our Krugs and Raptors around like 4:30ish, maybe around that time, it was a little bit later. But when we run out here at around 7 minutes, right, your Krugs and Raptors are going to spawn with your red buff if you started at red. So it's just really nice timing. For Kha'Zix here to run out of base, of course, we're looking top, which is what I told him to do. But this lane looks ungankable, right? In other words, unkillable. Gankable for me, guys, always means killable. I don't care about ganking a lane because you can always gank a lane. I'm looking to kill a lane. If Kael's 100 HP, David could easily think just about doing red buff for level 6 and just running straight here, right? Doesn't have to do any other camps. But Darius is basing on low HP here. I don't really think David has a play on the enemy jungler, even though he's pretty fed, right? Because it takes pretty long to kill the Zac. The Zac isn't like 05 and level 3. This guy's still, like, you know, he's going to be pretty healthy and stuff, and I don't know exactly where this guy's going to be here, so why don't we just optimize our own clear in a way, which is pretty much what this game is. We only invaded the Zac very soon. So red buff into Krugs because they're now up, and then we go down to Raptors. David also asked me here, should I, like, help top, shove out the wave to protect him? And I'm like, no. Why would you want to go top just to, like, watch someone shove a wave? Is that fun? We play League as a jungler to farm camps until the enemy champions troll. We're not killing Darius, or Talia, or Xayah, or Alistar. We're killing these people. You need to listen to these players' HP bar and their minds. What are they going to be thinking? That's what you're listening to. This is who you get gold off. There's no stat at the end of the game that says, oh, this jungler relieved that much pressure. Wow, congratulations, have a medal. Who cares? You're going to win the game, bro, based on gold? That's what the game is. Krugs to Raptors here, right? And lots of people might be thinking here, because I really, you know, encourage people to go to Rift Herald, which I think is pretty standard these days, and it's what you should think about. But in some games, it's difficult. Why is it difficult in this game? Our mid laner just died. Azir used ultimate, though. Okay, Azir used ultimate, but our mid lane is dead here. I'm also kind of naturally pathing away from Rift Herald, if you see. This is just natural for me. Darius is based, and he's not even here. The Kael is in lane, and yes, Kael might be on a lot of gold here compared to Darius, because Darius gets his base off first, so Kael will be sitting on gold, 600. But the point I'm making here, man, it just looks too difficult, right, to do Rift Herald. There's too many variations here. There's no, like, you know, conclusive thing that's going to happen. But what I do know is conclusive is the fact that Zac started here. How do I know this now? Because his red buff is spawning at, like, well, just later, right? You can see the timer here. So it's spawning within 10 seconds, whatever that might be. So therefore, he has to start blue, because the buff would have spawned at like 640, 650, right? So he started blue buff. So this Zac, especially after killing Talia in this position, of course is going to go to his top side, maybe even start the Rift Herald with his prior lanes. So it's very difficult for David just to run in here. So pretty much what I'm telling him here is to go to bot lane. Lots of people here might think, why not pick up the wave? Well, why would you pick up the wave? Are you happy showing and giving away like your position and kind of status to the enemy champions? Of course not, right? You've got better things to do, taking potentially Zac's whole bot side, Dragon, diving their bot lane. So as you're moving bot here, guys, like if you're giving up Rift Herald, the first thought you should have is killing their bot lane. But Rengar and Ivan like recently died and they're running back out. So that really isn't an option here unless you wanted to dive them between towers, which is fine. But we have a better option, which is taking Zac's red buff and potentially his whole bot side, right? So let's just say Alistar and Xayah were to recall here. You could easily just go red buff into Raptors and then back to Krugs, right? And even back to Dragon at that point. But the main thing you're looking at is kills first, and then you can always come back to this and then this. You always kind of just want to go like in to out in a way. Yeah? Anyway, moving on. Red buff. There's a kills bot because there's fighting, right? So we just kill Ivan. And now we can do the Dragon. Why can we do the Dragon now, though? Like, isn't Azir full HP? Isn't the Zac, like, potentially running here after doing Rift Herald? So he's done Rift Herald. Like, why can we do this now and not before? Well, it's quite simple. Like, the Ivan is recently dead. We're so close to this as well. And as far as champions go, like, Talia is back on the map. She's going to have priority. Yes, Xayah might be dead. But Azir without ultimate, who just used it, it's very difficult, right, for the enemy team to do anything here and contest this Dragon, especially when Zac was just topside. So we get a free Dragon here. Now, last point, guys, I'm going to touch on in this video. And remember, the rest of this session and the actual live coaching is on Patreon. The last thing I want to touch on here, David asked an interesting question to me in the game. He said, can't I just base? Because, you know, he might have to wait like 5-10 seconds for his mythic, but he's 30 gold away from his mythic here, so he could always recall straight away after Dragon and just run bot and kill someone. The issue here, though, I think, is that David, yes, he would have a mythic, but if you look at this game and the scoreboard, other champions have their major items as well. So Azir has Crown, Xayah has Kraken Slayer. And yes, David might have Eclipse or Duskblade or Ghostblade, but the point I'm making is, like, it's not substantial enough, I don't think, just to run bot and kill someone here. I don't think he's at the stage where he can just, like, run into someone and kill them straight away and almost be happy giving up potentially 2 camps topside or his whole top side, and even like, you know, letting the enemy team kill Darius or something like this. Hopefully that makes sense. So pretty much what I told him here, look, just clear your whole bot side, just get rid of this, and then again, we can just go Krugs to Raptors at a base, which is exactly what he does. So let's just say, guys, you have a Dustblade, and sometimes it will happen. Maybe you have like a Dustblade, or you have Ghostblade or something like really early on. I'm talking like even before the first Rift Herald. I'm more than happy people giving up like camps in a way, almost like a whole quadrant, to do something to the enemy team. Like just running at them. I'm actually fine with that. But in this game, David is not ahead enough to really, you know, kind of like validate that. So there's an important distinction there. I'm more than happy people doing it, but you have to be fed enough. You have to be fed enough to really make that work. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, guys, hopefully this is, yeah, like helps you guys out. Hopefully this is giving you some clarity on how to jungle at the highest level. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more videos just like this one, please leave a like down below. Any comments or questions about the moves, please let me know down below as well. If I see a comment, bro, about this being like NA or, oh my god, wash region or something like this, man, I'm gonna go nuts. I want to talk about jungling, bro, not some random shit, you know, that makes you feel better about you being in a lower elo or different region. Anyway, got that off my chest. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. See you in the next one. Don't be shit, bye.